question, the hardest question, and it's like the elephant in the room, is how do we get cops to stop pulling triggers? It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about just Denver. I'm talking about cops in general. How do we get cops to stop pulling triggers? Because I don't have a right to just murder anyone. But if a cop decides, oh, he has a candy bar, oh, it looks like a gun, boom. There's been so many different things. Like, how do we get cops to stop pulling triggers? That's the question.
First of all, I got to be honest with you. You kind of. You're responding on a lot of perceptions without having the whole story. Again, and I am not a guy to make. I fired more police officers than probably almost any police chief in America.
And that's good to hear.
I am not the union's best friend. But when they're right, I have a responsibility to defend them, even if you 100% disagree with me. So to say, how do you get cops to stop firing? You need to look at the incident. You need to honestly look at the incident. Have the facts of the incident, which I get paid to do, which you paid me to do. And when the incident is right, I have a responsibility to say, this is what we did and this is why we did it. Now, you can disagree with that all that you want, or you can agree with it. But there are not that many incidents where officers are going up and just shooting somebody because they say they can shoot somebody, or shooting somebody because they had a candy bar that looked like a gun. And if that occurred, they've got to articulate to a group. They got to articulate to a group of citizens in the court. This is what they did.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. That's exactly what I'm getting at.
Absolutely.
Is the fact that we have a system where we have a jury for to prove, and if somebody is doing such a harmful thing, like James Holmes, like they didn't just shoot him. He's going to get a judge, then he got a jury, now he's had a trial. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, is where we need to just be able to train the cops that there is no circumstance, really, unless you are absolutely threatened for your life, to pull a trigger on somebody or kill somebody in a chokehold or anything.
But let me say this. Officers are already trained, and I'm speaking of Denver, but I'm speaking of most police departments in the country. Officers can only use deadly force when their life or somebody else's life is in immediate danger.
Good, and that's what we need to remember.
That is an absolute fact. So the Cleveland incident, which I'm assuming that y'all are familiar with, where the 12-year-old young man was shot and killed. Number one, and I don't like to talk about a lot of other incidents, but strategically, to run up on a scene, to put yourself in harm's way as a police, when you get a call from somebody that has a gun, and tactically put yourself in a bad situation. As soon as you get out the car, the guy has a gun and he points in your direction, you shoot him. I am telling you, those officers are not going to be indicted.
No.
But the problem is, if I was the chief in Cleveland, what that chief will probably do is look at, okay, now we got to look at this thing. What did y'all do to put yourself in that situation where you end up killing a 12-year-old kid? And the question is going to be, you rushed up on the scene,
and you reacted too quick.
You put yourself tactically in a bad situation, and somebody pointed, because we don't know between a real gun and a
exactly.
I mean, let's be real.
Well, can I just shake your hand and thank you for coming out tonight and doing this type of thing, outreach with the community, because it's very important in Denver and around the world. So we thank you.
But that goes back to the thing that I said earlier. We got to get officers to make decisions. Not to say, okay, I know that if I shoot you, I'm going to be justified. And some officers, unfortunately, operate like that. So now we got to get them to make a decision to say, is it necessary for me to absolutely go to this extreme as relates to the use of force?
We have the death penalty. But we have the death penalty. If we need to use it, we'll use it. But we don't need to murder people.
But my question is, when you have a